Hello, everybody. Welcome. And it's Sunday, December 14th, 11 days to Christmas. And also, today is the beginning of Hanukkah. So, happy Hanukkah to all of our Jewish friends around the world. And to my sister Bernadette and her husband Steve. And Dylan, our nephew. Welcome, everybody. Where this is our day, let's see, this is day 6 of the next, we have 4 more days. Yeah, because I did 4 in one day. So, yeah, we cut it by one day. But today we got 2 more episodes. We're doing episodes 13 and 14. How appropriate. Today is December 14th and a Sunday. Right now it is 17 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, in Scarborough, Southwest, which is the suburb just east of the GTA there, Toronto. So, yeah, brr, cold. Yep. So we've got eight eight more episodes, 2 per day, over the next 4 days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. No set time, as I said. Well, we'll finish up TAS, and then in January, I decided to go ahead and finish out the first part before I go to Enterprise. Is doing the 10 episodes that James Cawley did, which would have been called Star Trek Phase 2, the vision that the original Gene Roddenberry would have had, but Gene Roddenberry Jr., or Rod as they call him for short, approved of Collie to do. That's 10 episodes, so we'll do that sometime in January. And then we've got the 11 episodes after that of Star Trek Continues that Vic Mignogna then becomes Kirk after Collie. And Collie produced, and Vic directed, and there was some other direction from other directors, and that's coming up also in January. So probably, let's see, there between the two series, there's a total of 21 episodes. So that should work out perfect. If I go ahead and do from January 21st to the 31st. Now, again, this is just planning. But if I do it that way, that would work out perfect. And then on the last day, I could do the last 3 episodes of Continues to, you know, carry it out. So it would be over a course of 9 days, and then the last day being, yeah, that would work out perfect. The last 3 episodes, because the last two of the Continues is a two-parter, which is To Boldly Go is what it's called, and the Espers is what we have the concern before Kirk officially becomes Admiral, right? And then moves on to Star Trek, the motion picture. Yeah. Okay. So, but for now, we're we're skipping the pond. We're jumping over the camel or whatever. Okay, so we got episodes 13 and 14 of the original animated series. So let's go to our handy dandy, somewhat complete, not completely, IMDb background information. Here we go. That's so cute. I keep seeing Millie Alcock as Supergirl, seeing that. And then the young Asian lady that's going to be in Street Fighter playing Chun Li. Yeah, that should be interesting. Okay, so let's see here. Star Trek, the animated series. There it is, from 73 to 75. Okay. All right, so we're continuing with season 1, and we'll have that finished by tomorrow. And then we have the last 6 episodes for the next 3 days from season 2. So, yeah, 2 years, 2 seasons. Alrighty. Okay, so today, a couple of minor episodes, both getting a C grade from me. One is called The Ambergris Element, which first aired on Saturday, December 1st, 1973. And in this episode, while the Enterprise investigates a water world, Captain Kirk and Commander Spock go missing. They've been abducted by the world's inhabitants and altered into water breathers as well. That got a 6.4 out of 10 from 836 people who've seen it so far. So yeah, I raised it up to a full C. That's pretty much where it is. Okay. And then episode 14 is The Slaver Weapon, which premiered 2 weeks later. Uh, kind of odd, I guess, but Saturday, December 15th, 1973. And that got a complete 7.0 out of 10 from 898 people. So definitely a C grade. And in this, Spock, Uhura, and Sulu discover an ancient multi-use weapon and are captured by the Zinti, Kzinti, who are equally interested in it. The slaver weapon. Nice. Okay, so that's the 2 episodes this week, or today for Sunday. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one, the ambergris element. All right. And let's see. As always, so far still, DC Fontana is one of the main writers. Hal Sutherland is the director. Norm Prescott and Ray Ellis are the composers that work together on the theme song for the animated series. And in this one, let's see, there's a writer named Margaret Arman. And let's see. Okay. And so, yeah, so we're going to look at, I think we've already looked at Lou Scheimer. Um, yeah, well, we'll just go ahead and if we repeat ourselves, who cares, right? I mean, we're just, this way you know some information. But Lou Scheimer, who is one of the creators of this animated series from Filmation, plays or does a voice of Lemus, which is uncredited, of course. Um, so he has a voice in this, and then there is Margaret Arman, the writer, because we've already discussed DC Fontana. So let's go ahead and take a look at the trivia first. All right. A couple of the swimming animations of Kirk and Spock were traceovers of the swimming animation of Aquaman 1967 from the late 1960s Filmation show. This is why Spock frequently seems to be drawn as smaller than Kirk. Since the small boat or scouter gig used in the search for Kirk and Spock obviously has no flight capability, it had to have been beamed down. This confirms that Enterprise has the cargo transporter shown in Franz Joseph's Enterprise blueprints. The Enterprise crew encouraged half the planet's population to stop living underseas and to colonize the surface. This major cultural change to the aquatic species shows a total disregard for the non interference prime directive central to Starfleet. Although the Aqua Shuttle is never mentioned by name, it is generally accepted that it is designated the Cousteau after the famous oceanographer. Uh, since Jacques-Yves Cousteau designed a number of his own submersibles, it has been suggested by fans that one of his descendants may have had a hand in the shuttle's design. And this takes place, of course, in 2269 and in Star Trek IV The Voyage Home from 1986. There is an allusion to a similar water based planet inhabited by aquatic people. Nice. Alrighty. No goofs, no quotes. I don't see any crazy credits. You know about the soundtrack already. So let's go ahead and look at the cast and crew. And of course, we're looking at Lou Scheimer. Make sure we cover him. So we'll take a look at his background first. And then we'll also look at, yeah. Okay. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We did talk about him already. Yeah, he died at the age of 84. So just to let you know, an American animation producer, voice actor, and theme score composer from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. One of the co-founders of the animation studio Filmation from 62 to 89. Born October 19th, 1928, and died October 17th, 2013, at the age of 84. And among his many credits, of course, as a producer, actor, composer, he did He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. He also did the Star Trek, the animated series. He was the creator of that, the co-creators, and did other things. So yeah, Lou Scheimer. Yeah, we already talked about him. Okay. I just wanted to give you a brief refresher about Lou. All right, so let's look at then one of the writers. I'm not there, writers. Okay, Margaret Arman. Okay, let's see. Margaret Arman. She's a writer who was born September 9th, 1921, in Washington, D.C., and known for Star Trek, the original series, The $6 Million Man, and The Bionic Woman in 74 and 76, respectively. And she died on November 10th, 2003, in Woodland Hills, Los Angeles. Yeah. So she was 82 years old. Yeah. And let's see. See if I remember this. Right. So season 2, episode 16, The Gamesters of Triskelion. And then she wrote season 3, episode 3, The Paradise Syndrome. And she did the teleplay from season 3, episode 21, The Cloudminders. Okay. The one episode she wrote where she did teleplay by and story by season 3, episode 13 of The Bionic Woman, The Pyramid. And she did one episode of $6 Million Man, season 2, episode 16, written by, which is called Taneha from 75. And The Wide World of Mystery TV series, The Deadly Volley, season 3, episode 23 in 1975, written by Margaret Arman. And the last thing she worked on, let's see here. Yeah. The last thing she worked on before she died, about 20 years before she passed, she was part of the series Emerald Point NAS, Naval Air Station. She did one episode in 83, and that was season 1, episode 9. And Flamingo Road. And we'll talk about Fantasy Island. She did the segment called Reprisal in 1981. And that was paired off with another episode called High Off the Hog, another segment. But she wrote the Reprisal segment in 1981. That came from season 4, episode 10 of that awesome one with Ricardo Montalban and Hervé Villachez. The plane! So, rest in peace, Margaret Arman. Okay. All right, let's move on to our next episode. Let's see here. Okay. So we have the slaver weapon. And one of the first people we'll look at is Larry Niven, who's one of the writers along with D.C. Fontana. And of course, you know the rest: Hal Sutherland, Norman Prescott, Ray Ellis doing their respective jobs, Shatner, Nimoy, and Kelly, Takei, Nichols, Magel, and James. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to look at Larry Niven this time, but let's go with the trivia first. All right. Okay, it was believed that the Zinti's space suits and ship were colored pink because director Hal Sutherland was colorblind. Pink and gray looked similar to him. However, according to storyboard artist and character designer Bob Klein, color director Irvin Kaplan, who had a preference for certain colors and never listened to input from others, was to blame for this artistic choice. After the episode aired, producer D.C. Fontana apologized to writer Larry Niven. There were plans to have the Zinti return in Star Trek Enterprise 2001, the series that takes place a century before Star Trek from 66 and the animated series, but the show was canceled before this could come to fruition. They were later incorporated into the Starfleet Battles gaming universe by Amarillo or Amarillo Design Bureau. When the game was adapted for the PC in 1999, the Zinti were changed to the Mirak, as by that time, the Star Trek's license to use the Zinti had expired. The Zinti made another appearance in Star Trek Lower Decks in 2020 and were even mentioned in Star Trek Picard from 2020 as well. This was the first Star Trek production since The Cage in 1966 and the last until Encounter at Farpoint from TNG N87, in which Captain James T. Kirk does not appear, making Leonard Nimoy Spock and James Doohan the only actors to appear and voice in all 22 episodes. The three main characters in Larry Niven's original short story Soft Weapon were adapted into Spock, Uhura, and Sulu. Niven was given permission to leave Captain Kirk out of the script because he could not be easily adapted into his characters. While Commander Scott does not appear in this episode, he does voice three of the other characters from the Zinti. Okay. In this episode, writer Larry Niven introduced the cat-like alien race, the Zinti, from his known space novels into the Star Trek universe. Niven was asked by Gene Roddenberry to adapt his own story, The Soft Weapon, into a teleplay. Officially, Zin, with KZIN, is the singular form of the species, and Zinti, with KZINTI, the plural and adjective form. During the interrogation, Spock tells the others to imagine eating a raw vegetable in eating a raw vegetable. In Larry Niven's stories, the common way to foil a Zinti telepath was to imagine eating a carrot. When talking about the history of the slavers, Uhura says that one race rebelled against their masters. The rebel race was named Nuctipun in Larry Niven's stories, and that's spelled Tnuctipun. I probably mispronounced it, but anyway. It has been suggested that in several behind-the-scenes books that the Zinti and the Kaitians, the cat people, to whom Lieutenant M. Rest belongs, have a common ancestor, like the Vulcans and Romulans, which would explain why both races have feline characteristics. Sulu, mentioning that the Zinti fought 4 wars with humankind and lost all of them. The last one was 200 years ago, would later become a bit problematic since this episode takes place in 2269. Earth did not have first contact with alien species until 2063, and in Friendship 1 in 2001, it was implied that humanity had not yet had any hostile encounters with aliens by 2067. Now, if the 4 wars were fought after 2067, they must have been brief and in short succession, or Sulu's statement of 200 years ago was possibly a bit of overestimation. For example, it could have been closer to 180 years. In the extended universe of the known space novels that served as the basis for the Zinti, they fought with sublight vessels and were defeated because Earth had faster than light travel, so the wars may have indeed have been short. And like I said, took place in 2269, and there is a spoiler. The 5 Zinti killed by the destruction of the slaver weapon are the only characters to die on screen in the series. Nice. Okay. So, no goofs, no quotes. We know the soundtrack. All right, so we are going to take a look at Mr. Niven in the cast and crew. Okay. All right, Larry Niven is still alive today. He was born April 30th, 1938. So he's officially 87 years old. Very cool. He was born in Los Angeles. He also is not only a writer, but a producer as well. He's known for In Constant Moon, Land of the Lost, 1974, and The Outer Limits, the rebooted Outer Limits from 1995. He has been married to Marilyn Joyce Wissaway since September 6th, 1969. Ah, he's one of those long-termer husbands. How cool. So, Larry Niven, good to know you're still breathing. All right. And in Constant Moon is probably a movie short, so he wrote that. All right. In the Land of the Lost series, he wrote for 3 episodes of season 1 and in 1974. So he wrote episode 4 of season 1, Downstream, then episode 16, which was called Hurricane, and episode 17, which is called Circle. So he did those 3. All right. Then in the updated Outer Limits in 1996, he wrote a short story, and that was it. Okay, so that's where the Inconstant Moon comes from. That was a short story as part of the Outer Limits. Oh, very nice. All right, and then of course he wrote the Slaver Weapon, and he adapted it from his story, The South Weapon, for the animated series. Okay, and the Inconstant Moon in '96 was his last project. He has one upcoming though, but the development is unknown, and it's a novel called Ringworld. It's also supposed to become a TV movie, but we don't know much more about it. Interesting. But it does say on some video games he did work on. One was called Ringworld Revenge of the Patriarch in '92, and then in '94, Return to Ringworld, which is a video game based on his known space novels. Sweet. So, yeah, so then I guess this Ringworld, this next Ringworld adaptation coming out as a TV movie of the video games, but they don't know when the development is available on that yet. But that is coming out, so that's cool. So good to know, Larry Niven, that you are still breathing and still producing and writing. So that is so cool. At the age of 87. Yeah. And still married to the same person. So let's see. Um, so he's been married to Marilyn, let's see, for 56 years since 1969. That is so cool. All right. Good man. You're a good man, Larry. All right. Okay, so we are looking tomorrow on Monday, the 15th. We are looking at the next 2 episodes, The Eye of the Beholder, which first aired January 5th, 1974. And then we're looking at episode 16, The Jihad, which aired on January 12th, 1974. Very cool. So that's the 2 episodes tomorrow. And we have Commodore Productions 01, Mr. Jim. Hello, Jim. How you doing, sir? Hey, Jim, we're all set. I'm blowing snow. I'm plowing snow 4 inches. Very tired. Oh, my Lord, sir. Yeah, you got a bunch of snow last night. We're supposed to get another inch or 2 ourselves tomorrow. Yeah, but we had a dusting last night, so we added a little bit of extra snow to our already ground cover here at Scarborough Southwest. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Jim, we are all set for Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I've got it all loaded into StreamYard, so we're ready for your interview. Just the 2 of us there, along with the chat. Okay, for Tuesday. And then I also have a good news for you. On this coming next Saturday, the 20th, we have that special Pod Blast. When are you doing Matt's interview? I'm doing that in January. We have plans after I do your interview on the 17th. You know, we have some stuff to do before the end of the month. Yeah. Yeah, I've got 2 projects I'm already working on too. So, yeah, one with Chance Bartels and then one with the Heel Jack Happy Hour. There are some pre-Christmas videos we're doing. Yeah. Oh, and Larry's going to be a part of it. Yeah, Larry says he's excited. He's gonna join us as a co-host on Saturday on the 20th. I have to let Chance know before then. I'll probably let him know either tomorrow or sometime during the week. Yes, as we get closer. But Matt's is coming up in January, so let him know that. Okay. Yeah, probably the first week. Yeah, probably the first week, like right after we have Happy New Year Day. On the first. Probably during that week. I'll let. Don't worry. I will message Matt. Let him know, Jim. I'll definitely let him know. But yeah, it is coming up next month. Yeah, yours will be the last one this month, this year, and then Matt's will start next year. And then I'm also going to interview Lizzie Armstrong. They're from Queensland, Australia. So she's going to be our next 1v1 after Matt. Yeah. So that should be cool. Yeah. So when you're doing Matt's interview, yeah, that'll be next month, sir. Just let him know that. Probably around the first or second week of January. More likely the first. We'll see what happens, sir. We got a lot going on next year. You know, Suzanne's got to get her appointment comes up, I believe, in either March or April. She's going to get the right knee done, and then the doctor did say that he is also going to work on her left knee. So, yeah, lots coming up there, sir. All righty. So we've got Jim in the box here. Good to see you, Jim. Let's go ahead and put live chat. That'll work. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I'll hang out here for a few minutes. Rest my eyes a little bit. So we had a good prequel stream last night with Chance Bartels and myself on his nostalgic pod blast, along with Natalie, his producer. We were talking about ideas and concepts that we wanted to come up with for his next grand, Christmas show. And I did tell him I would like to have Larry join him because Larry, of course, with music and TV and movies, and we're all about pop culture there. So Chance said, "Yeah, great. If you can get him, that'd be great. We could have him come up and be a part of us." And I said, "Yeah, I'll ask him." And I told him last night he was doing a live stream showing some parade vehicles, for Christmas down there in Anthem, Arizona. And he said, "Great, yeah, Mike." He says, "I'd love to do it." I said, "Awesome." So yeah. So unless his plans change, but yeah, I mean, he wants to be a part of it. And I said, "Yeah, no problem. I'll just let Chance know as we get closer." But yeah, I'll just let him know. Just be prepared if Larry has some last minute thing come up. Yeah, just be prepared. But we're gonna have Al there too. Al's place. He's a good guy. And then we've got the man behind the screens. We just call him. I just call him JJ. But yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah. So we're gonna have a big Christmas show. Hopefully, it's gonna last less than 3 hours. We're gonna try for 3 hours, but we never know because Chance and I, we're chatty bloggers. That's what we are. That's why I called this channel ChattyBloggerMS. Mikey Sue's, right? So that's why I did it. Yeah, very cool. Thank you there, Jim. Alrighty. Well, like I said, other than the next 4 days, like I said, I've got 8 total episodes left. So 2 per day, which will be Monday through Thursday at different times. And then, like I said, on Tuesday night, the 17th, I'm sorry, the 16th. Right, the 16th is a Tuesday. Sorry about that, Jim. Yeah, the 16th. So on the 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're doing the 1v1, the last one of the year, with our friend Jim's uh, landscape. Are you going to interview Captain Finity? Never. Nope, nope, nope. He blocked me, Jim. We're blocked again, permanently. Yeah. He says, "I don't like your negative thing, Mikey." And I said, "Well, I'm sorry, Captain. You're just a douchebag." So, no, I'm never going to interview him. Never. Nope. Never, never. Nope. That's one of them I will not interview. I won't interview Daniel's Hot Topics either. He deserves it. Okay. Blockage. And I'll never talk to PvP again. William. Yeah, you let me down big time. Okay, there we go. And Leanna, Jay Aldrich's wife, ended up in the hospital again. She's in cardiac. She had a cardiac arrest. So it's two, one, two, three, four. There we go. Okay, so prayers up for her. Alrighty. Oh, I'm sorry. Jim, it's not your fault. Don't worry about that. I'm still planning to do your boom claws at least till the end of the year. That you're doing Monday, Tuesday, or excuse me, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So I'm still planning to be there for you, but I'm just gonna try to avoid talking to the captain because it's pointless. If I try to say anything, he immediately just, retracts or throws it back in my face and says I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, he can go f himself. Anyway, let's see what else is going on. Okay, so like I said, so I've got um my 4 webcams coming up Monday through Thursday this week to finish out the animated series of Star Trek. Next year we'll start with the 10 episodes of the new Star Trek New Voyages with James Cawley, and then the 11 episodes with Star Trek Continues and Vic Monona. And we'll have in January we'll have 2 interviews. We'll have the Matt Arnold interview we're going to do, and we're also going to do Lizzie Armstrong's interview. And then in February is when we'll start the 3 new concepts that I'll be talking about on January 1st. Time to be determined on that. And that'll be just a webcam, and I'm going to talk about the 3 subjects involved in music. And I don't want to reveal them right now. It's still a mystery to some people, but some people have got an idea what it is. But we're going to start that in February. It should be a lot of fun. And Jim, remember, you'll be a part of that because you and we discussed one of the subjects, and I want you to be up there to co-host with me when we talk about a couple of those opera things we discussed. Yeah, so good stuff. Let's see. What else have we got? Okay. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah. Let's see what else. Okay. So, like I said, so Jim's interview this coming Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Check it out. Live stream 1v1 with Jim's Landscape, LLC, Commodore Productions #1. And we'll talk about, just about anything. And the chats, come on in, listen to our interview. And if you want to ask questions, have them prepared. So, we've done this before. So just ask us, when you get into the chat. And let's see. And then on the 20th, like I said, I'll be doing a co-host. I'll be a co-host there's actually 2 things going on that day. First of all, I'll be a co-host for Chance Bartels and the Nostalgic Pod Blast along with Al's Place, and we hope to have Larry confirmed. He wants to do it, so we're trying to confirm him to come up there, be our co-host special guest on Saturday on the 20th. Also, later on that evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing a co-hosting along with April, who is Sci-Fi Mombi, Connie Cleary, the Bird Woman of YouTube, and of course, our friend John the Beagle Dad with Porthos as we watch 2 more episodes, watch party, and we discuss on the original TOS from season 2. Episodes 3 and 4, I believe, we're on to now. That'll be on Saturday night. Whew, I have a lot going on. Then on the 23rd of December at 11 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing a pre-Christmas party with my friends Seth and Sabrina, and we'll be it's the Hilljack Happy Hour, and we'll be doing that on Tuesday, the 23rd of December, 2 days before Christmas. I'm not planning any streams at all on the 24th or the 25th. If anybody else in the community is doing something for Christmas, I may or may not be there. I don't know. Suzanne and I have some plans. We want to go see a movie, Five Nights at Freddy's Part 2, which looks really good. And, we may want to go out to have Christmas dinner special, somewhere. So we got that going on. And then, like I said, I'm not doing New Year's Eve at all this year. I did it last year. That was the last time because we lost a lot of people this year. And of course, some people just are going to be total idiots. So we'll just leave them where they are and just ignore them and continue on. And of course, this year's been pretty bad because, we had our near heart attacks for the first time, in November. Before that, we lost our Mikey Sue's 4 channel completely, hacked, corrupted, gone. So it's been a pretty bad year. Yeah, we just want to get through stuff this year. And of course, some of my family back home, our family back home in the United States aren't doing so well either. So we're just trying to keep an eye out on them and see what's happening, with my parents and so on. But they did finish their Carmelite ministry, their mission and their stuff that they're supposed to do. So now they're fully fledged Carmelite ministers, both our mom and dad. So very cool with that. And you know what Larry went through. So, my brother, Larry. So we have to be there for him. We know what Jason and Nikki are going through. And of course, you already know what's going on with Jay Aldridge and his wife, Leanna. Gorilla's got his thing going on. Everybody else has their thing going on. So, yeah, everything happening all at once. And finally, of course, like I said, January 1st, the big reveal. And we'll let you know what we're going to discuss next year and a special co-host that I'll have to just, two of us, whoever comes up and wants to discuss the certain thing that will, and these will, these items that I'm going to be going through will be at random. So like say 1 week will be one thing, then the next week maybe another thing, or the next 2 weeks. I might just do it every 2 weeks. That's probably easier. Just do one week, 2 weeks later do the other thing, and then 2 weeks later another thing, and so on. But that all won't start till February. So yeah, I've already set aside for that time. So yeah. So that's it, really. Here for ChattyBloggerMS, and don't forget, always be yourself from Larry. Leave everything in God's hands from Suzanne. And now the aisle's closed from Gene Siskel, and of course from Brother Jim and Brother Matt. Remember, you never know where you'll hear or see me next. So make sure you keep your eyes and ears open. Remember, hit the like today if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We do have 46 subscribers. I know we're rebuilding. We're just starting slowly as we did the last channel. But hopefully we'll get some more people next year. We'll see what happens with that. This is our last attempt at trying to do a successful YouTube channel, by the way. So, God forbid, if anything happens to this channel, you may not see me anymore. We'll see what happens with that, though. Anyway, let's see what else is going on. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to, subscribe for for anything. Like I said, like, share, and remember the notification bell so you can be notified of any future podcast, any future live streams like this, like the webcam live I do now, live webcams, and of course our live streams where we have the interviews and other fairs of fancy, fun fairs of fancy, we can say. So. All right, so on behalf of Jim's Landscape being here for us today, for me and Suzanne, thank you, Jim, for being a part of the show today. I hope everybody will come back tomorrow sometime and remember, keep that notification on, okay? And I'll be doing our next two episodes, which will be episode 15 and 16, to finish out season 1 of TAS. And then on Tuesday, that'll be starting the final 6 episodes, 2 per day, of season 2 of TAS. So, alrighty. And of course, remember, let's pray. God bless the entire world we live in. Let's pray for everybody. I feel that's probably best instead of individual because then it covers the entire world. Remember that 3-1 /Atlas is on its way. Will it be enemies? Will it be friends? We don't know. We don't know what the whole deal about it is, but I have heard it is closer than ever. It will be much closer next year. So we'll see what happens with that. We never know, right? 3-1. Yeah. 331 or 3I, whatever it's called, /Atlas. It's a big thing. Yeah. A big unidentified aerial phenomenon. Yeah, UAP. You got it. Okay, so remember, let's become the future guardians and stewards of our future generations of men, women, kids, seniors, so they can enjoy all the wonderful landscapes and the landmarks and everything else that we live in this world. And the one Christmas gift I'm asking for this year of God, and praying from God to God, and all the saints, including Saint Suzanne, my wife's patron, and my patron saint, Saint Michael the Archangel, also with, uh, you know, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. There you go. And of course, the Blessed Virgin Mary and Saint Nicholas himself. Yes, Mr. Santa Claus. We're asking for world peace for one day at least. We're hoping that on Christmas Day this year, which falls on a Thursday, which again is 11 days away from today, we want to have it peaceful. No killings, no natural disasters, no violence, anything. And recently there was violence there at Brown University in Rhode Island. 2 people dead, 8 people critically injured. Let's pray for their families today. So prayers out for everybody there in the shootings that went down. And they're still looking for the person there. So that was very hard to for my wife to read about this morning. Yeah, right there in Brown University at the chemical uh, engineering department, engineering sciences, Illuminati. I can say that. Okay, so anyway, everyone, take care of yourselves out there. Remember, be safe and stay warm this year. Yes, amen, Mikey. Yep, everyone, have a great day. Thank you, Jim. All right. So, everybody, take care of yourselves out there. Remember, be safe, stay warm, and remember, be kind to someone today. And if you get a chance to, when you see a Salvation Army person with this little bell going like that, just donate whatever you can. Just throw in even a few pennies helps. Anything helps if you're in the States, and of course here in Canada and anywhere else in the world that Salvation Army works. They are dependable, they are reliable, and they do what they say. They do what they say in their mission that they want to do. So make sure if you do see one of those ringing bell guys or girls, just be kind. Just say have happy holidays, and donate and put it in their little pot, and that's all you need to do. Feel good about it. We did. We took care of ours. We felt good. We felt like sincerely we wanted to help, and I always believe in the Salvation Army. I think they're very good people. So yeah. All right. So take care, everybody. We'll see you next time on ChattyBloggerMS, which of course stands for Mikey Sues. God bless you all, and thank you again, Jim. Have a good day, guys and girls.